And it looks like we are live, so I'm going to say hello everyone and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. How are we all doing today? Immediately Tess says, "Hi nerds." I was like, well, correct. I mean, we have been playing Pal World all weekend. I don't think it gets much nerdier than that shit. But yeah, how are we doing? Nerds, how very dare you. Oh wait, we are nerds. I like that. Yes, in fact, that is true, and it's good, and it's good news. Fuck you. Anyway, yeah, what have we been up to? What have you been up to that was actually productive and wasn't catching not Pokemon for fucking hours and hours and hours and having a frankly tremendous time doing it? It's actually really good. I was put off by the Pokemon with guns things. It's not. It is that, but it's also more than that. Anyway, I won't get distracted by just talking about fucking Vimeo James. Yeah, and I'll be playing it when the stream ends, so that's more important. I'm making potatoes for a pork dinner. Are you making potatoes or are you cooking potatoes? Because I'll be honest, those things are very different. Making a potato is actually super fucking hard. It requires like big lab equipment. I guess you could have a farm. But like, if you're going to do it from scratch out of like the essence of nothing, maybe I'm just taking what you said far too fucking literally, like an asshole. I have no money, so can't afford a razor at the moment. So my bears is ginger and grey. My bears? Oh, beard. Right, never mind. That took me a while. Bears? Is that just what he's saying? Is that what he calls his face fluff? What's worse is everyone is saying it suits me. Ah, the bastards. It probably does suit you.
I am partial to a beard.
I mean, frankly, someone I watched recently shaved their beard off, and according to his wife, it's like going from no beard to beard. It's like, oh yeah, the beard's a slight improvement. I liked how you used to look, but you know, the beard, I generally prefer it. And then he had to shave it off. So the beard's coming back, right? And me personally, I haven't not had a beard in a while now. And way before, like, everyone's COVID beards coming in, and mine was like down to my fucking feet, effectively. Nah, my beard's nowhere near that long, but I have a big beard. I know I've had a big beard for a long time, and it's just like,
it's more bushy than long.
The problem with shaving for me is that, speaking of potatoes, I look like one. It's very strange. Like, I'm not. It's like it's a fine potato. It's not a potato you'd be like, ugh, I wouldn't eat that potato.
You look and sound like a man that I don't want to be with.
That is one of our favourite lines. My mustache acted like a natural filter. Yeah, like, beardless me is just no gusto. I tried having and by tried having, I mean literally about 2 minutes to maybe 3 minutes having a goatee after I shaved down. I can't remember why I was shaving at all. I don't think that there was a good reason for it. But yeah, I shaved it down.
Probably because you got told you're supposed to shave.
No, because it was here. And since we've lived here, I've only ever worked for myself.
I don't know. It got to a point where you're just like, why am I still shaving? And then you just
gave up. that happened before then. And I was bearded up most of the time. I think there was a point.
Wedding.
Was it a wedding?
I think it was a wedding.
That's the only thing I can think of, and it wouldn't happen now. I will have my beard, like, I will go to a barber's and like be tarted up, but I don't think I'll ever shave it again unless I literally have to. If it catches fire in a way that is like not that big a deal, but enough that it makes eating annoying, however that would work. But yeah, no, it's going nowhere. Dyslexics of the world, untie, of course.
Should I go for this one or a plain black one?
Which dildo? I think that one would probably look cooler.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
A dildo would be less embarrassing than what she's currently looking at, by the way. Just so you know. Any guesses? There we go.
Do you want to guess what I'm looking at?
She's looking at something that is...
And it's not Egyptian related.
It's not Egyptian related. I'll say it's nerdy. And it may be tangentially related to something that has been said in this thing already. And that's a big fucking clue, I think. I regularly shave down to just the moustache, then it becomes a beard after a week. I mean, yeah, like a proper grown-up, you should have a beard within a week. A friend, oh God, to be honest, I say a friend. So many people we know, like guys 25, 30, even older, and they just can't fucking grow facial hair.
Crocs? Oh God, no. Ugh.
A unicorn. Why would owning a unicorn be more embarrassing than having a unicorn with a dildo horn?
It is not
would be the least
related.
embarrassing thing ever. Beard dye, D&D related. Remember to like, but only up to 69. Otherwise, Mrs. Sick gets very
Yu-Gi-Oh
sad.
cards, close.
Incredibly close.
Very close.
But it's not the cards. In fact, I mean, yeah. It's a holder for Pokemon cards, and that's pretty embarrassing.
It's not
I mean,
embarrassing.
it's cool. It is embarrassing.
My,
It's more embarrassing than dildos. A dildo corn.
It's
Exactly.
It's just the kids are into Pokemon cards, and I was trying to keep them quiet while Sick was recording.
And then she found
So
she was having
we
fun.
were going through their Pokemon card collection, and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, I should collect these myself.
Yeah, we've been using Pokemon cards as a inexpensive way to be able to reward things. Because you can buy these packs fucking full of them, and they're not like they're not real collectors of Pokemon cards. Like they don't actually get. They like the way they look.
They like the cute ones.
All they care about is getting nice looking ones. They don't care about some fucking shiny bollocks sword that's worth like $4,000 or some shit like that. And I think they would find that a waste.
If there's dildos with Pokemon on them, I'm assuming they're really pricey.
If they're official.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I sincerely doubt.
Diglett dildo.
Dildlet. It's the Doug trio you've got to watch out for. Oh my god. There's a fantastic video. This big, quiet, buff dude wearing a Diglett head. And he gets interviewed. And he's like, do you have anything to say to our audience? He goes, Diglett. That makes me laugh every time. We have a veteran friend who is super into Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and we frequently pull out of his case apparently super special, rare, and sparkly cards to show off. Yeah, there's like I don't know any Pokemon cards that are like ultra valuable. The only card that I can think of at the top, I think it's a Magic the Gathering card, Black Lotus. It's worth like $10,000 or something even more stupid than that. Like it's an actually insane amount. Quite an interesting video. If you just, I like watching things that are like exciting, but I don't live in that world. But they're exciting for the people because the reactions are just interesting. I saw a guy unboxing cards and he found one of these, and his reaction is fucking priceless. Like it would be like you just opened a packet of crisps or chips.
Apparently
and just found thousands of dollars.
It says today Pikachu Illustrator is the most expensive Pokemon card sold.
How much is it worth?
1.275 million.
No fucking way.
Only 20 of them were ever distributed.
Like, I can almost understand the tens of thousands, million. For one small bit of cardboard.
39 was made, but only 20 of them ever got distributed, which is why it's so expensive.
So there's some asshole out there with like 20 million's worth of Pokemon card just sat in a box somewhere, and he probably doesn't even know.
It said it's not worth that much. That's what it got sold for.
I'm so old. I remember Black Lotus being a bad card. That's the beauty of these kinds of collector's things. It's often shit things that become extremely valuable because everyone gets rid of it. No one gives a fuck. And then it's the one that's missing from everyone's collection because everyone threw it away because it was a piece of crap. Like a lot of video games that are extremely valuable aren't great games, or they might be interesting. One of the ones that I always knew as a valuable video game was Panzer Dragoon Saga. I don't know how much it's worth today, but like it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's not one of the top 100 by any stretch of the imagination. It's not something that anybody needs to play, but you can't. And that's kind of what makes it way more interesting.
Oh yeah, baseball cards as well. They were very popular.
Oh, of course. I mean, any collectible, it's collectible trading cards. That's like the whole thing. Does that count as falsely upping the value? What, destroying them? Only if you were to collect them and do it on purpose. There was an episode of a cartoon from way back in the day where one character just went around to everybody at school and just bought everyone's that one card that everyone has loads of, and he would just buy it off of them for like an inflated value of 10 cents instead of the 5 cents it's actually worth. And he bought everyone's in the whole school and like the whole town, and then he put them all through a washing machine except for one, and suddenly it became the rarest card in the whole set. And yeah, that's I don't know how meaningful that is. I don't know if such a thing happens, but yeah, I can see people doing stuff like that, and it is something that's stuck in the back of my head. Good evening, Sir Pickle Rick. Pickle sick.
I figured it would be a shiny Charizard, platinum laminated, antimatter duplex space laser card. Oh, that's one of the stories I like that the girls told me.
What did the girls tell you?
Because pretty much all the kids like Pokemon cards at their school, and this lad was getting bullied, and the bullies were like, they threw all his Pokemon cards on the ground because he brought them to school.
Yeah.
And my kids, being the way that they are, they went over and helped him pick them all up. And as a gift for helping him, they gave him a shiny Charizard. Nice. I was like, oh, hell yeah! He said he has another one, so they can have this one.
That was clearly this is a good card, have it, yeah. The copies of Sergeant Pepper's, which was mistakenly pressed with A on both sides. Yeah, like a thing that is effectively less good. There's like a whole subculture of people who are constantly checking their money to see if any misprints, and they're worth more than the original, usually by like 5%. It's like it's often rarely worth it. Look. Oh, pardon me. I get it, because having something that's more valuable than it was is kind of cool, but it's also for it.
Oh, your kids are sweethearts. Yeah, they're like meat bags of empathy. They really are. Oh, for God's sake, Tusk.
Oh God, don't mention the breatharians. Yeah, the breatharians had that gone. To be honest, that video, I really liked that video. But it took me a really long time to come up with a title for it that I was happy with. And that's a real problem with fucking YouTube, because it's quite scary to put something up, even if you think it's really good. If you can't think of something like... I've been accused of clickbait, but I don't do clickbait. Because what I consider clickbait is it says something, but... it has nothing to do with that topic in reality. It's just blah blah blah, and it's there's like nothing to it. I think clickable is fine, and I should do, which is to say that it is something that makes you want to click it, but also that it delivers on at least most of its promise.
Oh yeah, Brevarians are like mental.
Yeah, but
like they some of the stuff I've researched on them and things, like a lot of them, like the people who began the movement, like the amount of lying behind it all.
Oh, of course. But yeah, so trying to come up with a title for that took me a really long time. So that's actually kind of an old video. And one of my worries when I finally, I sat down one day and I went, right, let's workshop some fucking titles. And I sat there for a few hours and I went through and I came up with something that I quite liked. It still is one of my worst performing videos of a while, but it wasn't like nobody fucking watched it, so I'm happy enough. I got a video out of the cannon that's just been sat there for fucking ages. But
You're on your own for a couple of minutes.
Okay. I wish you hadn't told me that, because now I've forgotten what the fuck I was talking about. You could have just done. I was happy talking away.
I'm sure
I'm so mad at you.
Inform you.
They won't inform me. They don't know what I was talking about. 10 amazing facts about moths. Number 6 will blow your mind. And then it's about butterflies. And that makes one of my kids incredibly mad. But are they the same as the living off light people? Effectively. The fucking energy of the universe and all that garbage. But yeah. So every theist title's a clickbait then, because it'll never be true. No, I don't think that's fair. But it's about what's being attempted, in my opinion. So, but yeah, like finding a good title is one of those things. That's what I was going to say. One of my worries once I'd done that was that, oh god, this video's like, it was about 3 months old when I finally put it out. That's how long I'd had it in the can, and I was just like, gotta do something with this fucking thing. Because YouTube is a game, effectively. And so I thought, do you know what? I better check it and make sure it's still good. Yeah, the gag still made me laugh. So I was like, okay, good. Happy enough with that. Dinosaurs aren't real started as a joke. Got a woman fired. I mean, that's kind of hilarious, so... The pterodactyl guy was funny. Which one was that? They want you to think they are special or they are scammers. I don't think most people want you to think that they're scammers. Was a great video. Thank you. I liked it. I like to think that all my videos are pretty good. Just realised after Strahd 6 gonna have to say my damn words. Oof. Maybe. Maybe not. Depends what she does. She doesn't have to do it. My friends thought badgers weren't real until he saw one. Oh my god. But yeah, you'd be astonished the sort of shit that people believe. I can't stand it now. I hear it so wearily often. No one is this dumb. This person is fake because this is too stupid. And I'm like, have you met a person? There are fucking Fruit Loops everywhere. I mean, if you spend any amount of time in a single pub for an extended time period, you'll meet someone who believes a lot of wacky shit.
Yep.
Because, you know, once the drink starts flowing, people start saying the things that they believe. And yeah, they're all over the place. And also, anybody who sort of survived the last 3 years, and I say this in both directions, no matter what you believe about sort of the whole COVID thing, no matter any of the beliefs you have, you think that everyone else who doesn't think what you think is a fucking idiot, and it's really obvious that they're a fucking idiot. Both ways. Like, I guess there are a few people who are just like, but 99% of people all think that everyone else was a fucking idiot about that whole debacle. And that goes to show that everyone can believe something that you think is fucking stupid, no matter how stupid and obvious you think it is. Do you even worm hat, bro? So yeah, after that, I'm just like convinced that the human race isn't worth saving. So we might as well just make as much fun out of them as possible. Someone replied to Starlink ad on TwatX as if space is fake. That's funny. God, that's made. Musk has made Twitter really fucking weird because a lot of people who are very conspiracy minded also really like him, but he also knows that space is real. So there must be some amount of I don't know. I'd love to see him interacting with those people to an extent because I just think it would be funny for the most part. Thank Atheismo you're on. I was watching MasterChef Australia and they all started clapping when somebody made a meringue. It was a make a change. Australians usually boomerang. Oh, I just got that boomerang. Although I wish I'd have stopped that and just like everyone clapped at a meringue because that's just a funny concept. I know someone who works on a ship that travels the world as a flat earther. Oh my god. It's staggering. If the Irish learn how to make spud guns, we're all screwed. Pretty sure they know how to make spud cannons. Found a flat earther on the other video hosting website that was using an AI-infused version of Google, which told him that the Tropic of Capricorn was bigger than the equator. AI got a result wrong. I mean, yeah, I am like Flurfs and that using AIs and just working it until it says something incorrect and going, see, it knows. That is 100%. I'm surprised it's not more common already. Oh, see, if you know what questions to ask the AI, it will give you the correct answer. And it's like, no, you can confuse it into saying something stupid. That's not the same thing as it admitting the reality to you, pulling back the curtain and revealing something. I don't know. No one calls it X. La 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 la. Yeah, it's Twitter. It's Twitter. Like, it will never not be Twitter. I sometimes call it Twittix just because I think that's funny. But yeah, I can't believe Hans Wormhat has never claimed that red pandas are fake. They're clearly too cute to be real. I bet Disney created them. I mean, they would, and then they would teach them to jump off of cliffs because they're bastards. I want Musk to talk to his right-wing buddies when they say electric cars are trash. Thing is, like, Teslas are okay, but they're way overhyped. As I understand it, if you want to go electric, your best is to get a plug-in hybrid. This is from someone who does not drive. But having a car that you can charge at home to just pootle about town and then has the ability to use petrol stations so you can actually go distances seems like a good idea to me. I've just stopped being able to engage in conversation with nutty and nonsense peddlers. I just stop, turn, and walk away. I just can't. That's why I watch your channel. You need to know that they're still there. Just checking that they're still... Yeah, okay, yeah. What kind of blows my mind is that after years of doing this, I can still find new ones. New ones who even have an amount of subscribership is bonkers to me. What really blows my mind is when I find a new fucking ludicrous nonsense person and they've got this huge fucking following, and it's just like, where did you even come from? Where have you been? Why did you not do the thing so that I could make fun of you sooner? Damn it. I'd meet him halfway and call it Twix, but it would make me hungry.
There's not a shortage of stupid people, though.
There is I don't think there ever will be, because they're humans and they can't help themselves. By the way, when are you going to make a new video on the Spirit Nonsense Blue Toy Guy? I may or may have, like I said about having one in the canon for a while, I may or may not have one that's in the canon for when I decide to fire it onto the internet. It's just about deciding when. There's a game that I play with YouTube, especially when I have myself a little bit ahead. is I try and release things at the optimal time. At least it feels optimal to me. Generally speaking, what I try and do is on a Wednesday, I try and release a video that I think is going to do really well. And if it does do really well, then I'm happier to release a video that I'm not sure about. What I really hate is when I release a video that I think is going to do well and it does piss poor, and I like, oh no, what am I going to do? So I usually try and release something else that I think should do well. If that does badly, I just have a really shit weekend where I go, have I killed my channel? Have I killed it yet? Hey, that's because anxiety is a bitch. And YouTube is just... I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. People who say they want to be YouTubers, don't do it. Not unless you luck out and have like 1 billion fucking subscribers immediately. It's actually really stressful. It's like having a job where just you could get paid half for no less. The work is quite... Everyone's saying, oh, the work is good, but just for some reason, no one's watching it. Have you looked at ghost or paranormal YouTube? Those are silly. I've looked at lots and lots and lots of things. The biggest problem with a lot of channels is that they'll, especially with woo peddlers, is they have this real bad habit of making hours and hours and hours and hours and hours long fucking content. And I just don't have the time to fucking pass it all. If you ever want to, like, I love it when people send me like about 10-minute long videos. 20-minute at a push. 5-minute is fucking ideal. When someone thinks that they can compress a complicated idea into 5 minutes, it's almost universally really fucking stupid. So if you find a 5-minute video that's saying something dumb, fucking send it to me, email it to me, or send it to me on Twix, and I'll take a look. But if you send me a 2-hour video, you can do that. I prefer it if you didn't, but you can do that, but only if you can find a segment in it that is extended stupidity and you tell me where that is. I'm okay with that, but no one's done it so far. Not that I remember anyway. But yeah, really, really long content. Like this, I don't have that much free time. If I'm not working, then I'm not working. I'm not going to spend my weekend sitting and watching often incredibly fucking boring. That's the other thing. Like, people get mad at the people I cover because they are boring people, but they still watch the video because I'm generally entertained. I'm generally entertaining, I like to think. So imagine what it's like for me. I just have to sit there with the fucking content and just... It's either really boring or it's just internal screaming. It's very rare that I've watched something that I can't say I've ever like enjoyed someone else's video, but I've had videos that didn't just drive me insane. Like, they're decently produced, the person isn't that annoying, but they are saying stupid shit, is about the best I get.
What about mega church weirdos?
I've covered a few, but it has to be like a specific thing that they say. There have been like there was the guy, his mega church is like red on the inside. I don't remember his name. But he was talking about nukes and that mankind couldn't possibly destroy the planet because God, it literally that dumb. He was one of those types. So anybody who does that, it's just like, it's Matt Powell on steroids a lot of the time, but they're usually hours and hours and hours long sermons that, yeah, I'm not going to watch that. That's really fucking boring. I have better things to do with my time. So yeah, to be fair, you are the only guy that makes a 21-minute long video out of a 4-minute cut out of a longer video. So it really seems like you have a lot of time to make videos. I mean, that's a misunderstanding of how video creation works.
It's not like
4-minute video.
It's not like he sits down and just blah 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 into a microphone.
Yeah, that's not a 25-minute process. The process of making a video, for me especially, It's one day to write a script on that 4-minute video. That 4-minute video is cut up into parts. And I sit there and I write and I try and I rewrite and I try and make each line decently entertaining, informative, funny, or whatever. They get rewritten lots of times. It usually takes me the day on and off to do that. And then I record, which it takes me about, so for a 20 minute long video, that's going to be at least 15 minutes of VO, voiceover. So that takes me half an hour at least. And then I have to edit that audio. And so that's one day, and what I have there is edited audio and nothing else.
And then you got to edit the video.
Editing the video takes fucking forever. It's such a long process that drives me crazy. It's one of the hardest things in my entire job. It is a huge amount of work. So, yeah, if you think that just because someone makes 20-minute long videos that it took them 20 minutes, I'm going to say this in the nicest possible way I can.
It's probably taken them a day and a half.
Yeah, you're completely fucking wrong. Yeah. If you think video creators don't, they just have all the time in the world. Now, there are people who do. If I was just sat there and, there are people who just react to stuff. Those reaction content where a guy's in the corner making a face and he goes, "Oh, that was funny." Yeah, that takes 20 minutes. That takes no time at all. Yeah, sorry. Bit of a... You do make good videos, though. Yes, because they take a lot of work. I appreciate it, but do understand that if something is good, it was probably a lot of work. I wish my videos only took... If they did only take me the time, that the length of them...
Oh
then
my god, you'd just be pushing content constantly.
You'd have so much stuff. And to be fair, only if I could keep the quality of it up. That's the thing. I know Paul Ogier said that video creation is about an hour per minute of video.
Yeah,
so a 30-minute
right,
video takes 30 hours. Dependent on exactly how you're doing it, it can vary. Like, some videos fall out of me, is the best way I can put it. Sometimes I just... Oh, that's not counting the fact that I have to spend hours and hours finding the fucking thing. So when I say, I can't spend 2 hours watching one video, that's because if I spend 2 hours watching one video, that's 6 10-minute ones that I could have looked at and gone, oh, I could make something out of this. Or even more if they're all 5-minute. And that in itself is assuming that I could even find the fucking thing. There's just... It looks like an easy job. It fucking isn't. Again, I wouldn't recommend it to it. Stop interrupting and let the video play. Fuck you, Demon Up. Edit, I upload a raw hour-long Let's Plays, but I suck at YouTube. Yeah, editing is so important. Especially, like, if you want to be someone who is a video person, you need to. You need to cut out the shit that no one wants to watch. Because, yeah, it's like when it takes 10 seconds to say something stupid and 10 minutes to analyze, deconstruct, articulate why it's wrong. That has a fancy name, I'm sure. Yeah, it's called being handsome, famous, and good at the sexer. That is the other thing. I have been criticized by an idiot because, oh, well, this video was only 4 minutes long and it took you 20 minutes to refute it. And I'm like... If I was...
Oh, that's really cool.
If I was a sciencer, it would have taken me a lot fucking longer because I spotted so much stupid shit in your 4-minute video. I can't imagine what, like, an actual big brain genius would have found. So, yes, you saying something stupid takes no amount of effort. Me picking apart your stupidity takes fucking forever.
I just found that Bradolini's was an Italian programmer, and he said that the amount of energy that goes into refuting something is magnitudes bigger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it really makes sense. Yeah.
Rishi Sunak's YouTube channel has over 600,000 followers, but only 10,000 views. Now there is a possibility that is legit, because what can happen is if you do a bunch of stuff that lots of people watch and then you delete most of it, I think that YouTube only shows the views that are still public. I could be wrong. So you could have someone with a legitimate following that big, but only so many views. The other one is there's a guy I quite like, whose name escapes me, but I was looking at his channel today, and he has a shitload of followers. He has like 400,000 subscribers, and he makes good content, but most of it gets about 10, 20k. Like, smaller. He's effectively smaller than me, but one, he's been doing this for so long, and B, he's got some videos that just did fucking gangbusters. But yeah, it doesn't. The reflection of subscribers to numbers often isn't as simple as, well, they must have botted. Now, to be fair, a lot of people do bot. That is absolutely a thing people do. The unfortunate thing is, though, that if someone, or I say unfortunate for the person who bots.
I'm gonna have to settle this now. Was
What?
it for the past 6 months? Probably 7-8 months now. It's just you doing all the animation-y stuff. Yeah, it's not me. That's him.
Yeah, I've been.
Because when winter hits, I have so much little motivation to do anything.
I've been giving Mrs. Sick all the props, but yeah, for like 4 months, I've been doing a lot more. I think I've gotten a lot better at it for obvious reasons that everyone's going, that's really good. Oh, Mrs. Sick did her best work here. And I'm like, I won't tell her that one. But whenever anybody... But I say, oh, this person thinks that you did that joke. And you went, well, it was a good joke. Now, to be fair, that doesn't mean that she has no input. For most of those months, she was going through and putting ideas for jokes in. She hasn't been doing that recently because she's decided to put a bit more work on other things. Part of that is spoon stuff, but part of that is also learning philosophy stuff because she wants to, and you can't stop her. But
there's a lot of effort that goes into reading philosophy, apparently.
Yeah, it's been me 100% for a while.
I feel cheated.
I enjoyed it. I will no longer enjoy it.
It was a ruse. I actually did everything. In fact, I am Cersei.
Look, listen to me. I'm going to do an impression of... Wait. No, you need to say, listen to me. I'm going to do an impression of Cersei, and then I'll say something, and then they'll all know that there's only one of us. She's not going to do it, damn it.
Oh, you actually want me to do it?
No, I'm joking.
I thought you were joking.
I was joking.
Yeah.
That was the joke. You can't call it botting any longer. The PC term is backdoor. For fuck's sake. We won't credit you still. Give the love to Mrs. Sick forever. I mean, people will continue to credit her, and that's fine. At the end of the day, I wouldn't do it the way I do if it wasn't for her. She got me to start doing sort of more animated type Sick, which is just more visually interesting to look at. But yeah. So the Brandy is Dandy. Who's Brandy? I thought that was a stripper name. Oh, I need to get another drink. It's very important.
Brandy's a very American name, isn't it?
I thought Candy was the other name. The moment I hear an AI voice in a video, I'm out. I don't think that my voice or my style would work in the AI thing.
No,
like it's something that's
you are so up and down with your inflection.
Yeah, the robot voices are always kind of crushed even in their performance. They're often crushed. I'll credit Mrs. Sick when I see a new episode of Spoon Stuff Stories. Yeah, that is 110% her. People who fucking say, good work, Sir Sick, on those, it's like, that's maybe 2 hours of my time for something that took, like, 50 hours to put out at bare minimum. I don't know if you could work out how long you actually spend on the Spoon Stuff videos, but it's a lot fucking longer than I work on any of mine.
I go into it going, this, right, if I just like stopped trying to make things look good, then it would probably take me so much less time. I could probably, like, if I could just like do very simple pictures.
But that's a big if. She couldn't.
Yeah, and all the way through. And it would probably take me like 10, 12 hours to like do an entire thing. But I can't do that. I'll look at that and go, oh, I can do an animation there. Oh, I could do that there.
When Mrs. Sick did work on my channel, it's really fucking obvious when something is 100% a bit of her work, because it's just so much more animated. Now, I can do that animated type stuff, but I do it in fits and starts because I also like have a finite amount of time on this earth, and I only have a finite amount of time to work on a single video, including having to do all the other stuff. So yeah, like, and I told her, don't just have more choppy animation, it's fine. One of the rules of the chat, if I at some point I'm probably going to write a Sir Sick Bible just for myself, as in how to make an episode of Sir Sick, like some important rules, just so I can have them and sort of internalize them. It's a little bit pretentious, but it's also like a good idea. But one of those rules is that if an animation is simpler or easier to achieve, it's probably funnier than that complicated one you were thinking about. I'm trying to think of a recent example that's not in a video that's coming up, but I can't. The only example I can think of off the top of my head, and it's a bit of a spoiler, so cover your ears if you don't want to know a joke that's coming up. But I was talking about houses of cards falling down, and so what I could do, and I would have been perfectly capable of doing it, although it would have been kind of janky and not that funny. It would have been House of Cards, and it would have just collapsed, animated them falling inwards, and there you go, and that's the thing. Instead, what I did was I built the House of Cards in Photoshop in two halves, a bottom bit of the triangle and a top bit of the triangle, and the top bit of the triangle falls over to its side and the whole thing catches on fire. And that was visually so much funnier than the other one could ever have been. And it took me a fraction of the time the other way would have taken me. So it's like, it's always funnier if you do something simple and stupid. Just, yeah. Terrible animation has charm of its own. Yeah, especially if it's pushing across sort of an idea.
When I was doing your video, that was sort of like my take on it. It's just like, I tried to make it as shit posty as possible.
But even then, you still put way too much effort into it, and that was the problem.
Yeah, you said that.
We need a sick wiki. A sickie.
A sickie.
Pulling a sickie. That just means having a day off, but you're not really sick.
A sickie Wikipedia.
The sacred trust has been broken, I smite thee with spirit science. Jeez. Fuck. How dare you?
Oh no, you've been spirited. Take a shot.
The sick commandments. That's really hard to say, so it's good. The animation you use also reminds me of the animation of South Park and Monty Python. It's jarring and blunt. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's simplistic, but it works. I can definitely see...
Like, for Spoon Stuff, I kind of made it look puppetish.
Yeah.
And that kind of fell over into how I did the animation-y bits for Sick as well. It's just like, because he's very static, it's a static picture, you kind of have to make it like...
You wiggle him about.
Yeah, he's puppet-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a snowblower in my bathroom closet. Thank you. That was important to know. Sick rule 1. Lazy equals more time for whiskey. I mean, I can drink while I work. It's not hard. You know how you have to drink to live? Well, what you do is you replace that other liquid that isn't alcohol with alcohol.
Oh no, he's been spirited away. Oh no, Chihiro!
What's your opinion with living with extreme religious people like me? Depends. What exactly is your position? Is it a family situation? And if it is a family situation, is it parental? Are you a child, or are you at least an coming up to adulthood person? If you can't get out of it, your best bet is to just keep stum until you can leave. If it's a partner and they're extremely religious, then if it doesn't affect your relationship in any other way, and they don't like you can be extremely religious and also shut the fuck up about it, and
as long as
that can be fine.
As long as there's no conflict. But there's other one as well, is just having very hypothetical discussions.
Yeah.
And then just learning to
you can live with someone you don't agree with and still be happy living with them.
Yeah, you could be still get on with each other really well.
Generally it all depends on how they treat you for disagreeing with them. If they aren't pleasant to you, then you probably need to remove yourself from that situation.
Family, it depends how religious your family is. Like, if they're very, very, very religious, it's going to be very difficult to have any type of discussion outside of religion with them.
I would generally just avoid.
That's when I would just avoid. But if they're open to discussion, then you can have a hypothetical discussion with them. Like, what if this? What if that?
Like, I've known religious people who are extremely religious and have good conversations with them, and they're not dickheads about it. But if they're dickheads, and if you're reliant on them, then your best bet is to just try and skirt that situation and avoid it as best you can, and just kind of keep yourself to yourself as best you can until you can just leave. And then then you don't have to have those conversations, and it doesn't have to be an issue. Other than that, I don't know. I've come late. Who is speaking with Sir Sick? Who? Mrs. Sick. That's the person who always speaks with me.
Or who are we speaking to? Because we're speaking to Yusuf? Yeah, Yusuf.
Yusuf specifically, but yeah, that's... my wife is a Catholic, and I'm an arsehole, but it works. Yeah, you can have a religious partner, generally speaking, if that's not a big deal. Not to go much into it, but Mrs. Sick used to be religious, and we used to have conversations about it. And then she figured out I was right, and now she's not. Forgive me if you've answered this before, but where did the name Spoon Staff Stories come from? That might just be a misspelling. Yeah. And did you base any of the characters on real people? Well, Blossom is based on God. Remember the time in the Holy Book? It was the best bit.
Blossom is visually, I kind of got the inspiration from Dingo Doodles, because there's a masked character in that. I was like, oh, a masked character. I never played a masked character before, and I was like, that'd be really interesting.
I guess it was the concept of a character that wears a mask.
Yeah,
it's not
and
much.
Then I was like, but I need it to be more me.
Yeah.
And usually I always play male characters, and I always usually they're short, because I'm short.
But to be fair,
usually they're weird. So
the rest of the cast are the characters of other people, and they're based on whatever they based them on.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them might be based on a certain 90s cartoon property about young, not normal, possibly samurai tortoises. If I'd have had time, I could have made that way better, but yeah.
It's not even a tortoise, it's a turtle.
Yes, that's why I said tortoise.
Yeah, but they're not the same.
They're not samurais either. Might have been the point. Yeah,
I really liked Dingo Doodles. That was really fun. It's just I I took the inspiration for having a masked character, but everything else is just because I wanted him to be weird. So
masks are both easier and more difficult to animate. It's like no theatre. I mean, at the end of the day, the Sir Sick thing doesn't have a gob.
I didn't think about animating until we started doing the campaign, and it ended up being really fun because I record the sessions anyway, and I was like, actually, I could actually make something out of this because this is actually really fun. And then it wasn't because I did a mask because it's easier to animate. I didn't do it like that. It was more the opposite way around.
Yeah. But I like to think that the Sir Sick face is surprisingly expressive for a bucket.
Oh, what happened to Sick Brand merch? It doesn't have a link.
Yeah, Sick Brand merch is currently MIA because the company that we used isn't there anymore, and finding the time to do it when I remember to do it. I only ever think about it when I'm working, and when I'm working, so it hasn't been set up yet. Mrs. Six said she would do it. I don't expect her to do it, but she might just randomly do it one day, or I'll do it. When it comes back, I'll let you know. But yeah, I mean, it needs to change, and then I'll need to change the outros and everything. So I might even make a new outro to make it more, good. Middle-aged defective samurai tortoises. That's legally distinct enough, right?
Blender or Dash Student, neither. I just do it through Vegas.
Yeah, you'd be amazed how much. The only other thing she uses sometimes is
there's like one of the episodes has moho in it.
I thought a few episodes had moho in it.
No, just one.
All right, okay.
Like, it's just.
It was a lot of work.
It's a lot of work for a tiny section, which I could do in Vegas much quicker.
Yeah.
So I'm saving moho for more extravagant.
Did Mystic do the art for Sir Sick? So Mystic originally made the character, and then someone else called Extellus redesigned it. Just because he wanted to, because he liked it. So that's what I've been using ever since.
But the one on the screen now, is apart from the earth in the background, are mine.
Yeah. If you ever see a change in the art, all the art on the stream is Mrs. Sick. If it's like a character, the backgrounds are usually stuff that I've animated together. What about Goat Sim? What is your intro song clip from? That's something someone made for me. It says Sir Sick. All hail Algorithmus Momo, God of the AdSense and the Trinity of like, comment, and subscribe. I mean, yeah. Eczema is a victimless crime. Cheat. What the fuck is going on? Has everyone in the chat just had a stroke all at once? Jesus Christ. What's going on? So doing screen captures and then printing them with my t-shirt maker is a go until you get your merch up. As long as you don't sell them. Like, I can't stop you making your own t-shirts. But the whole point, I like to think, like something that people have complained about is that my merch was a bit expensive for what it was. It's like, well, I could make it like cost nothing, but then what would... At the end of the day, the whole point of having merchandise is to have a revenue stream. So I have to make some money out of it. Otherwise, literally, what is the point? And I was making less than most people do for it. People will always bitch. It's really fucking annoying.
When we did the merch, we tried to make it as absolutely cheap as possible while still profiting.
While still being worthwhile, yeah. I could have made it so I didn't make any money, and then... That's a really nice idea, but again, the whole point is to have a revenue stream, not that. Yeah. So what you've got to think about when you buy merch off of someone is that in a way you're kind of just giving them $10 or whatever.
The idea behind it was like, it's rather than just donating, you get something out of you donating. That was the whole sort of point of it.
Sorry, I could hear what you said over my printer making an iron-on. Damn, this is loud. Most merch is mostly a marketing thing rather than a large revenue stream. I don't think that my merch is a marketing thing. I don't think, apart from the fact that people have gone around taking pictures of themselves with handsome, famous, and good at the sex, because it's a funny saying. Yeah, like nobody is coming to the channel. Oh, I saw this channel on a T-shirt. It's never happened. It's definitely, it's certainly, I guess, it's not a large revenue stream, but it's a revenue stream. It is definitely not something that I'm expecting to get more views out of.
Yeah, tarantula, exactly.
Well, that's the other thing. One of the other reasons that my merch wasn't cheap is because we didn't use a cheap merch store. We used someone expensive. That's part of the reason that getting a new place is taking so long is because we need to find one that's actually good.
Yeah, because I didn't want to do like some shitty...
We don't want to sell you garbage.
Like really thin fabric that just like disintegrates in your washing machine.
With shitey print quality. And
yeah, we wanted something that actually was decent.
Yeah.
So.
If you were going to spend a decent amount of money on something, for me, it would be something that you could keep. Not just some piece of shit. So yeah. I wear my Cersei shirt in public. And do you run up to people and like stuff their face in it saying, subscribe? Do not do that. Fuck's sake. Sick distillery. I mean, I totally would. Do you do mugs? I'd love a sick mug. That's one of the things that we've been thinking about with the fact that we didn't before, is if we can find a place that does high quality merchandise, but also does other types of merchandise, also in high quality, then that might be something that people will be more interested in, and that could be, you know, more opportunities for you to throw money at me, which would be fantastic. If I could actually earn a little bit more money on that, that could be very helpful to the channel and, you know, our plans for the future. Cersei vomit bags. What video game are you playing lately, Six? Pal World. We'll be playing it in a few minutes when the stream's over.
Partly Pal World, partly Infinite Wealth.
Oh yeah, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is the bedtime game that helps Mrs. Sick go to sleep. I have so many Sujimon now.
It's basically the same game.
Merch is many things. Spice Girls make 20 to 30k. Yeah, like people make a lot of money from merch. Some people make a share load of money from merch. So sick mouse pads. Only the mouse pads with the tits. I got the You Sad One Spoon Blossom shirt and everyone asks about it.
Oh.
That's a good shirt.
I totally forgot that I had merch.
Yeah, like the merch on Spoon stuff should be pushed more because your characters are very, very marketable. Especially Blossom is weaponized marketable. Cersei diapers when? I need to protect my kids from all the radical evangelists camping in the bushes. Okay. Who's going to poop on who? Sick branded dartboards with Matt Powell's face on it. I wouldn't do that. I mean, who would want to buy something with Matt Powell's face on it? Jesus Christ. So sick tampons so you can stuff them up yourself. Why don't you take Cersei and stick him up your chuff? Nice. I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima. What? I mean, I'm sure that's a Steam recent game, but yeah. Oh god, is it a dating sim, you piece of crap? Anyway. Alright, we've got 30 seconds left, and I need the toilet and all that jazz, so I think we'll wind this thing down. But yeah, the merchandise store will eventually come back. I'll be sure to announce it so that you all can then go and say, and get, some of you will be like, oh, this is too expensive, and some of you will be like, yeah, I didn't need all this day money anyway. Throw it at me. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, thanks for coming, and we shall see you next time. Bye.
Bye.